Have you ever wondered why your home actually behaves differently as the seasons come by, or the seasons pass by, or different seasons approach? Or have you ever taken your time or taking a look at the different things in your home to see how the different seasons affect them, how winter weather affects your home, the summer impact your home, what happens during the spring rains? Have you thought about, oh, what is happening to my home when the fall temperatures and wind comes by? Or what are the seasonal maintenance that I'm going to be doing as winter, summer, spring and fall come all together? Or what are the other things like the insurance, or your insurance will cover and not cover during these different seasons? What do you think the weather is going to be affecting when it comes to your home? Your weather is going to affect the weather is going to affect your roof, your plumbing, your foundation, the utility bills we pay during these different seasons, the maintenance costs during these different seasons, and even our home value. Okay, so let's dive in. The first weather we're actually going to be talking about, or the first season we're going to be talking about, is the winter weather. And how does it affect our homes? Most of the time, right, most of us actually go through winter, depending on where you are in the country, but where we are and we find ourselves here in the States, we actually go through winter. Some people feel it way bad than others. Some people have the snow, the blizzard, all those things, and some people really don't go through that as compared to others, but they still go through the winter. Okay, they still feel the winter weather. Okay, we go through this with freezing temperatures. A lot of people go through freezing temperatures. Their temperatures drop, their water pipes get iced. You know, when it's ice, and then by the time water start running, those things, it expands, right? The pipes can burst because, like I said, if it's ice and then, you know, it's hard, it's easily burst. And that's why some people experience this a lot when the winter comes around, right? They have their pipes burst, they have their pipes expand. So many things happen in their homes. Even outdoors holes can split. You come outside and then you realize that there's water everywhere. After maybe you must have had some snow, or it's so cold, even water, just a bottle of water gets frozen outside, or sometimes in your car, or even in the house. It's so cold. Okay, and if there is no heat there, you come and the whole bottle is frozen. So imagine those pipes under the house, or those pipes in the house. What is happening to them if just a normal bottle of water can freeze during the winter? Okay, and some other places you need to pay attention to is your crawl space and your basement. Okay, they could be flooding during the winter, as well as temperature freezes. The second thing under the winter weather is ice dams on your roof. Most of the time, right, it's so cold. Even if there's no snow, it's so cold, so places actually start getting ice. Okay, so when it comes to your roof, your snow melts, it runs down your roof, and then it freezes at the edge. So if it freezes at the edge, that means it's tight together. Okay, so this can push water under your shingles, and most people actually have shingles. Okay, a lot of people have their roofs made of shingles. There are some people that use metals, but most people use shingles. So if there are those if there is water on your shingles and it freezes, then you can expect to have stuff like roof leaks, interior ceiling damage. Mold can actually grow after all this happen, because guess what, most places are going to end up damp. If the water enters into your ceiling through your shingles, then you're actually going to have some mold after some time. All right, the third thing is increased heating costs. Oh my god, we get to pay a lot. If you watch the news recently, you're going to actually find out that there is a lot of increase in your heating costs. A lot of people, if you have done a heating company different from your electric company, your gas, right, your gas different from your electric, it doesn't matter whichever way you go about it, it's still going to be higher. So the winter weather causes a lot of homeowners to spend more on heating their homes during this weather, okay? Because the house is cold, it takes a lot of time for the heat to be generated. So as that goes on, your bill equally increases, okay? And you actually have some rooms with uneven temperatures, so you might have to start switching things, or maybe add more heaters to those rooms that are not warm enough even when your heater is on. The fourth thing is foundation stress, okay? Remember that the cold, the ice, it goes in there, it contracts, it expands, so there's a little bit of shaky stuff in your foundation, okay? There could be concrete shifts, there could be doors stickings, or uneven floors, and even hairline cracks in your foundation as this winter weather comes around. And the last thing is moisture and indoor air quality. There's a lot of air quality problems during the winter. You know why? Because the heater is always on. It's very hard to breathe for some people. It's very hot, and then some people don't even turn on their humidifier to make the temperature breathable. And even if you don't, I mean, like, you know, when your heater is on and then every room is hot, even the parlor, everywhere is hot, and sometimes you don't have enough these humidifiers to go around the whole house, okay? So you can lower, you know, the house can be moisturized as the heat is on, so it makes it so dry, and it affects your hardwood floor, cracks in trims, dry skin. Like I just said, it's hard to breathe, respiratory issues, okay? So we go through a lot in the winter, and as humans go through the winter, your homes equally go through the winter, okay? So the things these are some of the things you have to do during the winter to protect your pipes, okay? Make sure you have your pipes insulated. If you haven't done so, seal your homes, okay? And prevent any heat loss. So if you seal your homes well, you are able to trap the heat, and that can equally reduce how much you're going to be paying for heating costs. The next weather or season we're going to be talking about is going to be the spring. So the spring weather comes with its own issues like moisturization or moisture, and it's your home's biggest enemy, okay? You don't want your home moist. If you have moisture, you're going to have so many things in your home like mold. But let's talk about the things that affect your home during the spring. The first one is heavy rain and soil saturation. When there is excess rain, there's a lot of rain during the spring, especially in some areas. You will see your basements leak, you will see sump pump failures, you will see foundation pressures, mold growing, okay? There are a lot of people that are actually going to have floods. If there's continuous rain in your area during the spring, most likely you're definitely going to have flood, and like I just mentioned, you could have sump pump failures as well. Your roof and gutters are not safe as well, okay? If your foundation is worried, then what about the roof that takes all the heat from the rain? You might have stuff like loose shingles, clogged gutters, overflowing downpours, okay? Water running towards your foundations, especially those who don't have gutters to redirect their rainwater, or sometimes you have gutters but you have not connected pipes, and you know, maybe connected pipes to channel the water all the way to maybe the road or somewhere way safer. That means all that water is going to be going directly into your foundation. The third thing is rapid temperature change. There is going to be warm days, there are going to be cold days, and all these equally affects us as it affects our houses. When there's warm and coldness, as time passes by, you're going to see expansions and cracks. You might see loose sidings, okay? That's why sometimes you go out, maybe outside or maybe one part of your house, and you see that the sidings are no longer at the place where they used to be. And then they can equally have stuff like allergies or air quality during the spring as well. You have so much pollen allergy mode, your HVAC filters get blocked. So make sure that even if you're not changing your filter during any other time, change your filter during the spring, because there's a lot of allergy out there, and you know, you don't want allergy plus whatever is already in your filter. Okay, so tell you some of the things that you can actually do during the spring. Make sure you check for water damage and prepare your home temperature change. Okay, as the spring is coming, make sure you check for those. So if you think the winter and the spring is just let's talk about the summer. Okay, so how does the summer weather actually affect you and I and our homes? You know, a lot of people actually love the summer. There's a lot of vacation, there's a lot of good weather out there. People like going to the beach. You know, you can actually take a lot of walks because you will not have a lot of rain like you have in the spring, or the weather is not going to be so cold like in the winter. Okay, but regardless of that, remember that the hot sun is going to give us a lot of UV light, and a lot of us get exposed to this. Okay, and there's a lot of heat during the summer. Don't forget that. Even though there's not going to be a lot of storm as compared to the spring, there's still going to be rain. Okay, so these are some of the things that the summer will bring for us. The high temperature stress on our AC, and that is why we pay a lot on trying to cool down this heat during the summer, which causes us to have high bills. Okay, so your air conditioner will have to be running constantly, leading to high utility bill, faster wear and tear, risks of system failure. The second thing is UV damage to exterior surfaces. Okay, I said even us humans, if we feel the weather, our homes equally feel the weather. So the sun will cause faded paint, rot sidings, damaged shingles, and cracked window sills. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you see your paint fading outside your home during the summer, just know that it's the heat that is causing it. Okay, then the third thing you could actually see during the summer is soils drying out and the foundations movement. You know, there's going to be little moisture as compared to the spring and the winter, so eventually there's going to be a lot of dry soil. Okay, extreme heat will dry out your soil, so this could cause gaps around the foundation, concrete settling, and cracks in your walls. So bear that in mind. And like I just said, even though there's going to be rain, even though not as compared to the spring, but there's still going to be some summer storm. Okay, and depending on your location, okay, there's some people that will have hurricane, a lot of hurricane in some states during the summer. There are tornadoes, there are gonna be hailstones and flooding, just depending on where you live. But some states face this hurricane a lot, like almost every year. As Virgin, you're like, oh my god, what's going on? It's so much moisture that the water bodies have, right? And then they're like, oh, we're done, there's a lot of this heat here, we're done, let's look for somewhere to empty this hot heat. And then suddenly you have a lot of storms, and some of these come with hurricane, and most of the time it ends up with what? Flooding, tornadoes. Okay, so you might be seeing a lot of this in the summer, and all these affect our homes, right? If there is tornado, maybe our homes are being destroyed. Hurricanes, all these, our roofs, siding. In fact, some people lose their homes during some of these seasons. Okay, so bear that in mind. And this, remember, this video is what are the different seasons that affect our home, the things that come with the different seasons and how it affects our home. Okay, and you can see stuff like higher indoor humidity. Okay, it's very hot during the summer. It doesn't matter if you're outside or inside, you still feel the heat. So this can cause mold, musty smells, wrapping wood, and rusty appliances. Okay, so make sure is when the summer is coming around, learn how to manage your heat, humidity, and be prepared for the storm, especially people that know that they're going to be facing hurricane, tornadoes, all these hailstones. Okay, be ready for it. Be ready when the summer is coming around. Don't just wait until it comes and then you start having all these hurricanes. Make sure you prepare ahead of time. And this takes us to the fourth season, which is the fall weather. And how does the fall weather actually affect us? Okay, the fall weather comes with fallen leaves and debris. That means we will have to be cleaning up a lot, and these leaves can clog your gutters, your downspouts, your drainage systems. Okay, it can cause roof damage as well, because guess what, if all these things are, maybe your gutters are clogged, your drainage systems as well, your roof equally can be affected. Okay, and the foundation, there could be foundation leaks too during the fall. The second thing is temperature drop. Okay, cooler temperature reveals that heating systems could have issues. There could be a little bit of draft, and there could equally be poor insulations in the home. Okay, so bear that in mind. Like, every season has its own things as they come with it. There could be stronger winds during the fall. Okay, so good, but if you have stuff like trees, they can break trees that can fall into your homes. So if you think that, oh, this tree is very close to my house and it can destroy my house, you can maybe trim the branches. Okay, trim the branches, or if you like, you can just cut off the whole tree if you're thinking that it could destroy your home in one way or the other. All right, and there can be damaged sidings as well as fencing during the fall season. And pest movement, as weather cools down, there is rodent, insects, spiders. You can see all these different insects, and they are going to be in lukewarm places. Okay, attics or your crawl space. So when you're going into those places, just make sure you pay attention to what you can meet. Okay, don't be surprised. Just bear in mind, as you're going into your crawl spaces, just know that, oh, this is the weather in which we are, so something like this could be happening. Now let me bring to you guys the seasonal maintenance checklist. Okay, I have a seasonal maintenance checklist here that we're going to run through, and this is just something that you have to just keep in mind, or you can just maybe write it down and know that as this season is coming, this is what I need to check on in my house. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is going to be the winter weather. So the winter weather checklist, for the winter weather checklist, you are going to check on things like you make sure you insulate your pipes, seal windows and doors, clean your fireplace and furnace. Okay, this can hurt, especially when you are using your fireplace. Okay, make sure you clear your furnace. Okay, add weather strippings, and please keep your thermostats steady. Don't go turning it off if you're not in the house. It is better to put it on auto, or maybe even reduce the heat and just turn it off as you leave during the winter, because when you come back, you're going to heat your house, but it will take time, and that means it's gonna cost you more money. Okay, for the spring checklist, inspect your roof, clean your gutters, test your sump pumps. Okay, this is very important. You don't want water gushing out and because of sump pump failure. Check for foundation leaks and replace your HVAC filters. Okay, when it comes to summer, this is what the summer checklist is going to look like. Service your AC system. You will need it during your summer. Okay, make sure you look before the summer, not during the summer when it fails and then you're going in there with heat, and then maybe you have to end up buying fans. It might not work enough or very good like your AC system. So make sure you service it. Don't wait till the summer comes around and then you're trying to turn on your heat and then you realize that there's something wrong with it. Repair exterior paints. Deep clean gutters before your storms come. Okay, inspect windows for any UV damages, and please check your attic ventilations as well. And now the last thing is going to be your fall checklist. When it comes to your fall checklist, please clean your gutters after the leaves fall, trim the trees around you. If you really think that they're going to be a problem, I mean, you can leave your trees if you don't want to, okay? Clean your chimneys as well. Check your heating systems, seal cracks and any gaps that you see in your homes, okay? And I really hope that this checklist is going to be helping all of us as these different seasons come by. Now, how will the weather affect you depending on the region in which you live in? Okay, remember that different parts of the country will experience these different weather or different seasons differently, and the risk for one region or the one state is not going to be the same risk for you. So for those in the northern states, you might be having stuff like heavy snow, frozen pipes and ice dams. Okay, so keep that in mind. These are some of the things that you could see, or some things that can affect those who live in northern states. For those in the southern states, you might have high humidity, hurricanes and termites, and this is for different seasons. It's not only for one particular season, okay? And those in the Midwest, hailstorm, tornadoes, wind damage, those are some of the things that you can actually see during these different seasons. And for those in the West Coast, there could be wildfires, earthquake related cracks, extreme heat, okay? And this, you always see people like people in California, they always have these wildfires, okay? And then for tornadoes, you have some states in states like Oklahoma go through tornado, you know, even some cities, okay, in different states, they go through all this. And then hurricane, Florida, you know, heavy snow, they just, that all these states, they have their own things that they really have to go through it. So if you're in another state thinking, oh, someone else in another state is better than you, I really don't think they are better than you. They just have to go through something else that you're not going through, okay, as these seasons pass you by. Now, what will your home insurance cover and what will they not cover, depending on where you actually live, okay? So many homeowners think that insurance will cover all weather damage. No, that's not true. They won't, okay? So what they would typically cover is hail damage, wind damage, tree damage, frozen pipes burst, and some water damage. What most insurance will not cover are flooding from rising water. So if there's flooding in your house from rising water, they might likely not cover it. Earth movement, okay, they might likely not cover that as well. Normal wear and tear of your homes, okay. Mold from negligence. So if you neglect your house and you end up with mold, your insurance most likely might not cover it. And roof damage from old roofs, okay, so keep that in mind. So you might end up having to buy a different or separate policy for these. People most likely in areas that go through these hurricanes or floods will definitely buy stuff like flood insurance. For people like people in California who go up, yeah, California, they equally actually have all these earthquakes, right? If you have those people, if you're in that area, you most likely have to get yourself some earthquake insurance, some windstorm insurance for those in the coastal area, and sewage backup insurance as well. So keep that in mind. If you have your money and you're in these different states that go through these other things and your insurance is not covering everything, you might want to cover yourself for these different things that come within the season: the flood, the hurricane, the earthquake, the fire. You want to be safe, on the safe side, and get yourself some insurance if you know you cannot afford it after it happens. There are some people that can actually afford to repair their homes without necessarily going through insurance. So if you know that you can afford repairing your home without necessarily going through the insurance company, I mean, you really don't have to buy insurance, right? You're just buying insurance that should, in case it happens, you have coverage. But if you know that you have the money to cover up all these costs from your pocket, do you really need insurance? I really don't think so. I'll do a little recap, okay? Remember that your home reacts differently to every season, so you might be seeing different changes and different things that are going to affect your home as the season pass by. Winter is definitely going to bring you freezing risks. Spring will bring you a lot of water. The summer is going to bring you a lot of heat and storms. Okay, keep that in mind. And fall will definitely bring you some wind, so be prepared. Okay, so if you understand each of these different seasons, you will be ready and prepared and know how to help your house, protect it from structural damage, protect your investment, save money on repairs. Okay, and remember to follow that checklist on the things that you can do during those different seasons. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, and even turn your notification bells. Okay, this video is only for educational purpose. Do your own research. As always, stay safe and healthy.